Discover the life-changing moment when the waitress daughter revealed the Japanese millionaire. In the small Midwestern town of Maplewood, rumors swirled through the air like the steam rising from Jenna's coffee pot. The diner, with its cozy booths and walls adorned with photographs of yesteryears, had seen it all. Yet nothing could prepare the tight-knit community for the astonishing news. Mia, Jenna's ambitious daughter, had befriended a Japanese millionaire. Suddenly, it felt like the town's dreams hung on a thread of hope and speculation. Morning sunlight streamed through the diner windows as Jenna wiped down a table. The familiar scent of bacon and pancakes filled her senses, but today felt different. Mia had returned home, and with her came vibrant stories of Japan, tales of bustling cities and gardens of cherry blossoms. As they embraced, tears of pride brimmed Jenna's eyes, mingled with a hint of worry. For years, they had struggled, always pushing forward. Was this newfound friendship their ticket to a better future or just another illusion? Jenna watched Mia weave through the diner, her laughter a melody that danced in the air. The girl she raised with hard work and integrity was blossoming into an inspiring woman. They had forged a bond through struggles, long nights, shared dreams, and conversations over greasy plates. Yet, as Mia shared her story of Hiroshi, the millionaire who had offered his friendship and his heart, Jenna's smile faltered. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The simmering excitement of Mia's scholarship took an unexpected turn when Hiroshi decided to make a generous donation to the diner, an act meant to support struggling families. The news was met with mixed reactions. Some embraced the idea, eyes gleaming with gratitude, while others whispered doubts behind hands, painting scenarios of dependency and loss. Jenna found herself in a crossfire of judgment. How could they so easily dismiss a good heart because it carried wealth? As the diner buzzed, Jenna gripped the edge of the countertop, her heart racing. The sense of community she had fought to uphold now felt like a fragile balancing act. Her own daughter, so eager to uplift others, was rooted in this controversy. Is kindness truly measured by bank balances, or is it a testament to one's heart? As tension unfurled around them, Mia's bright eyes spoke of dreams larger than the diner's walls. In that crowded room, a battle of beliefs ignited, fueling Jenna's internal conflict. Could giving be seen as an act of pride rather than a sign of desperation? She stood at the edge of understanding, trying to see the horizon of their lives through a lens that bridged both hard work and newfound opportunity. As Jenna reflected on the struggles they faced, the diner buzzed with chatter, the air heavy with a mix of hope and conflict. Would she embrace this chance for a brighter future, or would her reluctance drive a wedge between her and Mia? In the warmth of the diner, traditional beliefs clashed with transformative ideas, leaving Jenna with a weight on her chest. The future lay before her, uncertain but filled with promise. Mia sensed the tension simmering just beneath the surface. She noticed how Jenna's soft smiles didn't quite reach her eyes. It hurt her to see her mother so torn, caught between loyalty to her roots and the new opportunities that had opened up before them. Despite the whispers that dripped with doubt, Mia was resolute. She believed in the good of Hiroshi's heart and wanted everyone else to see that too. "Mom, this could change everything for us," Mia said, her voice a blend of excitement and desperation. "Hiroshi isn't just wealthy, he is passionate about helping others. He wants to uplift people, not control them." Jenna looked down, the reflection of the diner's fluorescent lights dancing across the surface of her coffee cup. She wanted to believe Mia, yet the skepticism of their community echoed loudly in her mind. But what if they're right, Mia? What if we're relying too much on someone else to help us? We've always made it work on our own. Mia sighed, this isn't about reliance. It's about partnership. He wants to invest in this diner, Mom. We can create jobs, provide meals for those who can't afford it. We can be a beacon for this town. Each word from her daughter ignited a flicker of hope within Jenna, but it was smothered by the fear of change. She watched Mia's impassioned pleas, her heart aching at the stubborn pride that congealed in her chest. "I just don't want you to get hurt," she murmured. "This world can be so unkind." In that moment, Mia reached across the table, grasping her mother's calloused hands, lined with years of labor. "I know it's scary, but we have to take risks, Mom. Isn't that what we've always taught each other?" Tears brimmed in Jenna's eyes, and she felt a knot in her throat. Memories of their long, cold evenings without enough to eat surfaced, but so did the knowledge of how hard they had fought to overcome it. "You're right. We've faced hard times together. I just need to wrap my head around it." Their conversation was abruptly interrupted by the raucous laughter of a group of regulars seated in the corner booth. Jenna glanced over, seeing them exchange skeptical looks and mutters as they pointed subtly in Mia's direction. The chatter quickly faded, replaced by uneasy silence as everyone shifted their focus back to their meals. It felt like a spotlight was on them, the weight of expectations pressing heavily on Jenna's shoulders. "Mom, please. If we don't take this chance, we could be missing out on something incredible," Mia urged, her voice steadying. Jenna nodded slowly, absorbing her daughter's words. The diner was her heart, her soul, and every ounce of her pride. But could it become something that fueled the dreams of others too? The idea burrowed deep within her heart, but doubt still lingered. Just then, the bell above the door jingled softly as a tall figure stepped inside. It was Hiroshi, his presence commanding yet warm. He scanned the room with a smile, clearly searching for Mia. Jenna's breath caught unexpectedly as his gaze landed on them. What if he truly was a good man and the harbinger of change? But as he approached, doubt flickered like an unreliable light bulb. Would this encounter bring a new dawn for their diner, or would it cast more shadows over their lives? "Can we talk?" Hiroshi asked Mia, his voice a soothing balm amidst the quiet tension. Jenna's heart raced, caught in a whirlwind of emotions. Would Mia finally be able to fully embrace this opportunity? Or would the moment unravel everything she feared? Mia met her mother's gaze. There was a spark of determination, and within that uncertainty lingered the question, could this be the turning point they had both been waiting for? Mia's heart raced as she nodded at Hiroshi, a sense of excitement filling her. Sure, let us go outside," she suggested, glancing at her mother. Jenna's eyes were wide, her own unease palpable. But there was a flicker of pride when she observed Mia stepping confidently into the unknown. As Mia moved, she could feel the weight of every stare in the diner. It felt like the air thickened at the doorway, holding the collective tension of their small town. Hiroshi followed her outside, the door closing softly behind them. The cool air hit Mia like a splash of cold water, clearing the whirlwind of emotions in her head. "What's on your mind, Mia?" Hiroshi asked, his voice low and earnest. She glanced up at him, searching for the warmth she knew was there. I really want my mom to see this as an opportunity, not a threat," she admitted, spinning her wedding ring nervously. "She's worried, you know. About change, about trusting someone new." Hiroshi nodded slowly, his expression serious. "I get that. Change is hard. More so for people who've struggled for a long time. But sometimes, in struggles, new paths are formed." Mia wanted to believe him. Hiroshi's eyes reflected a deep sincerity that calmed her own racing thoughts. "I know you mean well, but I just wish she could see how this could transform not just our diner but our whole community." "Maybe we can show her," he said thoughtfully. "What if we organized some kind of event here? A community dinner? Invite everyone from the town. It'll give them a chance to see you and your mom what it could look like if we worked together." The idea struck a chord within Mia. An event would be incredible. People love good food and company. We could start small, just a night where everyone can enjoy it, no strings attached. Exactly, Hiroshi agreed, his smile infectious. Let us make it happen. As they spoke, Mia's spirit lifted. Could this really be the push that would change everything? They brainstormed ideas, laughter mingling with the chill in the air. She felt the camaraderie between them deepen. Just then, a fading voice within called back her mind, will her mother really accept this? Let us ask her together, Mia suggested, the adrenaline surging through her like electricity. I don't want to do this without her. When they walked back inside, Jenna looked up with a mix of apprehension and hope. Mia took a deep breath, her heart thumping anxiously. Mom, Hiroshi and I were just talking about a community dinner. The words hung in the air, thick with possibilities. Hiroshi stepped forward, ready to share his vision. It could be a celebration of your diner's legacy, of what we can build together. Jenna's eyes darted between them, a storm of emotions swirling beneath her calm facade. Mia held her breath, hopeful that this moment could breach the wall of doubt her mother had built around herself. Almost as if sensing their yearning, Jenna offered a tentative smile. And how would you pull that off? It sounds like a big task. Mia felt a wave of reassurance. We do it together. It's about bringing the community together. Uplifting each other, and it starts here. In that moment of uncertainty, Jenna's gaze softened, but doubt lingered at the edges. It would require a lot of work. Mia squeezed her mother's hand, a silent promise that they wouldn't take the journey alone. As they continued discussing the event, Mia's heart swelled, feeling the dream breathe life. Yet, in the back of her mind, she couldn't shake the lingering fear, what if they failed? Across the room, a table of patrons eyed them with barely concealed skepticism. The weight of their opinions pressed on Jenna's shoulders. The realities of change felt as heavy as a storm cloud. There's no turning back now, is there? Jenna whispered, half to herself. Mia's heart clenched. She wasn't sure if her mother was afraid of what lay ahead, or if the doubt from their community would crush the spark of hope gathering momentum. Mom, Mia said softly, let's face this together. One step at a time. Jenna sighed, fingers trembling as she wrapped her hands around her coffee. But just as Mia felt a surge of determination, she caught a glimpse of the regulars whispering again, eyes narrowed. What would it take for her mother and the whole town to truly believe in a future they could create together? As hope bubbled alongside fear, a new question loomed larger than ever before. Could this event truly unite them all, or would it only deepen the divides? Jenna stared into her coffee, the swirling patterns reflecting her tumultuous thoughts. She wanted to feel that excitement Mia exuded, but the fear of the unknown gnawed at her. What if the community rejected them? What if her past mistakes were all the proof needed to convince everyone that her diner and her were failures? Mia, I understand what you're trying to do, she began hesitantly, her voice quieter than intended. But people don't always change. They can be unforgiving. Hiroshi, sensing the tension, leaned in. That's exactly why this dinner is so important, Mrs. Cartwright. It's a chance to show that we can evolve. Sometimes, you just need to take a leap of faith. Jenna looked him in the eyes, reading his determination. And you think they'll just show up? After everything? Mia felt the tension thickening the air. They will if they see us trying, she said boldly. You taught me that, Mom. Sometimes, it's about showing up, not just for yourself but for everyone around you. Jenna studied both of them, the battle of certainty versus doubt raging on her face. The murmurs from the other table seemed to echo her fears, mocking her ambitions. This is a small town, Mia. People talk. What if they don't see us as a team, but as a mistake waiting to happen? Then we'll prove them wrong, Mia said fiercely, her hands trembling but her voice steady. What's worse than failing is not trying at all. Something shifted in Jenna's expression, a flicker of agreement hiding just beneath the surface. Maybe deep down, she too wanted this change. Maybe she was just scared to step into the light, where judgment and failure loomed like clouds overhead. In that moment, Mia felt an urge to set a date, to summon the energy that was both exhilarating and terrifying. How about in 2 weeks? We'll have a planning session tomorrow, just the three of us. We'll make it happen. Hiroshi nodded enthusiastically, almost bouncing on his heels. Yes. We can create a menu, set some fun themes, and really pull everyone in. Jenna opened her mouth to protest, but her very soul felt it a shift towards something beyond fear, dragging her along with it. Okay, 2 weeks. But this is going to be a lot of work. I won't sugarcoat it. Nothing worth having comes easy, Mia replied, finally releasing her breath that had been caught in her throat. As the reality of their plans began to coalesce, the diner suddenly felt filled with promise, even if the skepticism from their patrons still loomed large. Mia's heart raced with hope and anxiety. They had a start, but that skepticism remained etched in her mind. Would the community really embrace them, or would they simply revert to their old ways of doubt? Before she could voice her worry, the bell above the door chimed. A newcomer stepped in, an elderly man Mia recognized as Mr. Hawthorne, who had been coming to the diner for decades. He spotted them, a knowing smile breaking across his face. Mia, is it true? Are you planning a big event? I'd love to help. All three of them turned at once, surprised. Jenna's eyes widened, but the warm expression on Mr. Hawthorne's face was like a bomb. See, Mom. Mia breathed, her heart swelling anew. This could be the beginning, but just then, a voice from across the diner broke through the warmth. What do you think you're doing? You really think you can pull off a dinner with the way things have been around here? The comment came from one of the regulars. Mia's smile faltered. Look, there's no easy way to say this, the voice continued, laced with sarcasm. You've got to know what people think about you. Jenna clenched her fists, but Mia felt an unexpected fire rise within her. We'll show you what we can do, she said, her voice steady, but her insides quaked. Mia turned to her mother, ready to embrace this challenge not just for herself or Hiroshi, but for the hope of change. We can't let fear hold us back, right? Jenna nodded slowly, the doubt still there but fading. As Mia looked around the diner, excitement and uncertainty coiled together. They were teetering on the edge of a new chapter, a leap into the unknown that could lead to transformation or disaster. What would it take for them to truly embrace this change? And would they be ready for the unexpected surprises that lay ahead? Mia felt the weight of the diner's atmosphere pressed heavily against her chest. As Mr. Hawthorne approached, his kind smile faded into uncertainty, and Mia couldn't help but notice the mixed expressions from the other patrons. Some turned away, pretending to focus on their meals, while others exchanged glances, whispering among themselves. Let us not listen to negativity, Mr. Hawthorne urged, his voice steady but wary. All of us here want to see this diner thrive. We've been waiting for something like this. A flicker of hope sparked in Mia's heart. You really think so? I know so, he affirmed, drawing closer. Sometimes, we just need someone to light the way. Why not start with some fresh ideas and a little bit of love? Jenna's face relaxed slightly, absorbing his words. If anyone could sway people, it was Mr. Hawthorne, who had become something of a town fixture. But Mia noticed her mother's tension remain, like the distant rumble of a storm. Preparing for this dinner will take effort. We have to plan carefully, Jenna said, her voice steady but laced with concern. Mia nodded, understanding her mother's need for caution, but the urge to push forward coursed through her. We can do this, Mom. With teamwork and passion. Let us meet tomorrow, see what we can create. Tomorrow works, Hiroshi chimed in, his enthusiasm contagious. We'll brainstorm together, and I can even help design the invitations. What if we invited people personally? Mia suggested, the idea bubbling forth. A simple knock on their doors. It could show we're serious. Personal invitations would be great, Mr. Hawthorne agreed. Sometimes folks just need to know they matter. A little connect and reconnect. Jenna stared at them, torn between fear and promise. The lingers of doubt hung like shadows, creeping into her mind. She knew the potential for rejection was there. "I don't want anyone thinking we're doing this for show," Jenna finally said, her voice a thin thread of worry. "I've failed before, you won't fail this time," Mia insisted, her heart pounding in her chest, feeling the truth in her words. The discussion shifted into the logistics of setting everything up, and slowly, the energy in the diner transformed. A buzz of excitement re-emerged, replacing the heaviness that had been suffocating their dreams. Mia started envisioning the menu overflowing with creativity, Japanese-inspired dishes mixed with American classics. She could see it now, families gathered around tables, laughter echoing off the walls, a symphony of sounds that felt unreal yet so achingly close. "Remember, it's all about positivity." Hiroshi chuckled. "If we present it with love, the people will feel it." The convicting words rang true in Mia's heart. As she looked around, the patrons were beginning to engage in hushed conversations, curiosity replacing disdain. But just as hope began to flourish, someone from the corner interrupted them again. "So let's say you pull this off. What's next? You think that's enough to make it right?" It was a familiar voice from one of the regulars, spewing doubts that threatened to suck the air out of the room. Mia felt her confidence waver. "We can't ignore change. We need to try. Trying isn't enough." The disdain hung in the air, heavy and sour. But before Mia could respond, a faster voice chimed in behind her. "You know, some of us are willing to help." It was Lisa, a waitress known for her fierce loyalty to the diner. She turned to the naysayers, her expression defiant. "Why not put your complaints aside and see how this works?" Mia watched as others nodded in agreement, their resolve strengthening against the deluge of negativity. Was this starting to shift in their favor? Could they harness this wave of support into something monumental? Mia squeezed her mother's hand tightly, an unwavering promise of solidarity. "We'll prove it," she murmured softly, not just to herself but for everyone gathered. As the feeling of camaraderie surged, Mia couldn't shake the doubt still clinging to her heart. What if this fragile flicker of hope was snuffed out before it could ignite into a flame? Tomorrow would be a turning point, a chance to reshape their future. But were they truly ready for the battle that lay ahead? Mia's pulse quickened at the thought of the door they were about to unlock. What would happen when they stepped through it? Would they emerge unscathed, or would the rough edges of their past haunt them anew? Mia woke up the next morning with a jolt. Sunlight streamed through her window, casting warm hues against the walls. But instead of feeling rejuvenated, her stomach nodded with anticipation. Today was the day everything could change, and she felt the weight of that prospect pressing heavily on her. Downstairs, the smell of freshly brewed coffee mixed with the scents of pancakes and sizzling bacon wafted through the air. Her mom was already at the kitchen table, going over notes for the big dinner. There was a determined look on her face, but Mia also saw the uncertainty behind it. "Hey, Mom," Mia said, sliding into her chair. "I've been thinking about the menu. What if we had a fusion dish, something like miso-glazed burgers? It could get people curious." Jenna paused, her pencil hovering over the notepad. "That sounds interesting," she murmured, a flicker of intrigue dancing in her eyes. Combining flavors might just work. Mia grinned, excited by the thought of getting her mother more invested. "And we can offer mochi ice cream for dessert. I bet it'll get people talking." Just then, the doorbell rang. Mia's heart raced. Was it someone coming to join their effort? A quick glance at her mother's apprehensive face made her grip the table edge. "I'll get it," Mia said, pushing away from the table. The anticipation swelled inside her as she opened the door. Standing there was Lisa, beaming with enthusiasm. "Morning, Mia. I brought some flyers we can use to spread the word about tonight's dinner." "Wow, thanks, Lisa. This is perfect," Mia exclaimed, feeling a rush of gratitude. "I'm all in," Lisa said, stepping inside and joining Jenna at the table. I also contacted a few folks in town. They're curious about this idea you all have. Mia's heartbeat quickened. Could this small but mighty effort be the spark they needed? After they finished brainstorming, Mia gathered the flyers and headed outside with Lisa. The sun hung high in the sky, and the warmth felt like a promise. With each step, she could already envision people embracing the changes they were about to bring to the diner. They decided to split up and approach houses on either side of the street. Mia knocked on the first door, a little nervous. What if they were met with the same skepticism that had lingered in the diner? But as the door opened, she was greeted by the warm smile of Mrs. Pritchard. "Hi, Mia. What brings you here?" "Hi, Mrs. Pritchard. We're hosting a special dinner tonight at the diner, and I'd love for you to come. We've got some exciting new dishes and a fresh vibe we'd love to share." Mrs. Pritchard's smile widened. "Count me in, dear. I'm always up for trying new things." Mia left the house with a giant grin, even more determined. One down, she thought, as she continued on to the next door, but as the afternoon progressed, Mia's excitement began to wane. Some doors were met with indifferent responses or even outright dismissals. "We've been through this before, Mia," one neighbor said. "No need to get our hopes up." More than once, doubt seeped into her heart. Each rejection felt heavy, anchoring her spirit. What if Mrs. Pritchard's support wasn't enough? Just as she began to question everything, her phone buzzed with a text. It was from Hiroshi. "I've got a surprise for you at the diner." Intrigued, Mia rushed back, her heart racing with newfound curiosity. What awaited her? Was it more than just flyers? Would this surprise breathe fresh air into their efforts? The door swung open, and as she stepped inside the diner, the sound of laughter and energetic voices greeted her. And right in the center was Hiroshi, his face lit up with determination. "Mia. You won't believe what I've done." What had he possibly arranged? Was this the breakthrough they had all been waiting for? Mia's mind raced as she grinned at her friend, feeling the tide beginning to shift. Today could be the day everything changed. But what would that mean for them all? Mia took a step closer to Hiroshi, her heart beating fast with anticipation. "What is it? What did you do?" she asked, her voice barely containing her excitement as he motioned her to follow him behind the counter, where she found a small crowd of people buzzing with energy. There, Hiroshi unveiled a display filled with colorful, enticing dishes arranged artfully on platters. "I reached out to Chef Tanaka. He's coming to help us with the menu tonight." Mia's mouth dropped open. "The Chef Tanaka? The one from Tokyo? But, that's incredible." Hiroshi nodded enthusiastically. "He's bringing some of his best recipes. We're talking ramen-infused meatballs and sushi sliders. It's going to blow everyone away." Mia could hardly contain her joy. This was exactly what they needed, something extraordinary to rival any past dinners. "I can't believe it. This is amazing." Hiroshi watched her, the corners of his mouth lifting in a wide grin. "And there's more. He's agreed to do a live cooking demonstration, too. Imagine people gathered around, watching him work his magic. It's going to draw a crowd for sure." Mia felt a surge of hope rising within her. Could this really be the turning point they had all been waiting for? "We need to tell everyone. This will get people talking." They quickly grabbed the flyers and dashed out into the street again. Mia felt lighter than air, buoyed by Hiroshi's enthusiasm and the thought of Chef Tanaka's culinary wizardry. They started knocking on doors again, this time with a renewed spirit. "Mr. Jenkins. Wait. You have to hear this. Chef Tanaka is coming to the diner tonight," she called out as the elderly man shuffled down his walkway. His curious gaze turned to disbelief at first, then excitement sparked in his eyes. "Really? The famous chef?" "Absolutely. You've got to join us." Mia urged, her voice full of passion. It's going to be a night to remember. Word spread quickly. Neighbors began to chatter as she and Hiroshi excitedly ran from door to door, and soon, more people were showing interest. Later, when they returned to the diner, Jenna stood behind the counter, her eyes shimmering with hope. How did it go? She asked, a hint of worry in her voice. Mia beamed. Mom. You're not going to believe this. Hiroshi brought in Chef Tanaka for the dinner. Everyone's excited, and they want to come. Jenna's face transformed into a mix of disbelief and joy. Are you serious? This could be a game changer. Mia nodded, feeling the weight of hope lift. It can be. As the sun began to set, the diner started to fill with the scent of spices and sizzling meats as Chef Tanaka arrived, his presence immediately commanding attention. Excited murmurs filled the diner, and Mia felt a rush of relief wash over her. But with the excitement came a lingering tension, the shadow of doubt still creeping in. What if the evening did not unfold as expected? What if the people who came weren't ready to embrace change, no matter how tantalizing the food? Mia swallowed hard, gritting her teeth against the wave of anxiety. Just as she started to sink into her worries, she noticed a small group of familiar faces entering the diner, the skeptic neighbors who had initially turned her away. Maybe they came out of curiosity, she whispered to Hiroshi, who stood next to her, looking just as perplexed. Or maybe they want to support you, he suggested gently. As people began to settle into their seats, the atmosphere buzzed with energy. Mia looked around, feeling the moment's weight sink in. They had done everything they could. Now, it was time to see if their efforts would resonate with the community. The countdown to the first bite began, an echoing reminder that tonight really could change everything. But would acceptance be found in the plates that were served? Or would old habits be too hard to shake? With a deep breath, Mia held on to hope, ready for whatever came next. Mia glanced at the clock, her heart racing faster than the second hand ticking away to the dinner hour. The diner was abuzz with chatter, laughter, and the sounds of sizzling meat from the kitchen. Chef Tanaka moved with a grace that could only come from years of experience, subtly commanding the space around him while whipping up one culinary delight after another. The smell of garlic and ginger wafted through the air, wrapping Mia in a comforting embrace that felt like home. She watched as the diners, now settling into their seats, glanced excitedly at the array of dishes displayed with such care. For a moment, she allowed herself to imagine what might happen if tonight turned into a success. The diner could thrive, and maybe, just maybe, the community would come together in a way it hadn't in years. Hey, you! Hiroshi nudged her, pulling her back from her thoughts. You ready? It's almost showtime. Yeah, right. She replied, trying to keep her voice steady. I hope they love the food. They will, Hiroshi said, confidence radiating from him. And even if some are skeptical at first, they won't be able to resist once they taste it. Mia admired his unwavering belief. It gave her a spark of hope. With a deep breath, she surveyed the growing crowd, her eyes landing on the group of skeptics, the ones who had hesitated to support them earlier. Gilda, the most outspoken of the bunch, had her arms crossed tightly against her chest. Mia sensed a challenge in Gilda's posture, as if she were preparing to write her own review before even sampling the food. Just watch, Hiroshi said, catching her gaze. Once they take that first bite, they'll be blown away. The door swung open, and a wave of chatter followed as the last few customers trickled in, their laughter and excitement filling every corner. Mia wiped her hands on her apron, her stomach in knots, a mix of excitement and anxiety clawing at her insides. Then, Chef Tanaka stepped into the center of the diner, his voice warm and inviting as he addressed the growing audience. Welcome, everyone. Tonight, we will embark on a culinary journey together. As he demonstrated an elaborate preparation, each movement was more captivating than the last. Mia could see the diners leaning in, hanging on to his every word. Her heart fluttered with hope. This was more than just dinner, it felt like a celebration of culture, community, and love for good food. Murmurs of curiosity rang out as Chef Tanaka plated his first dish, the ramen-infused meatballs. The vibrant colors and inviting presentation were certainly eye-catching. Mia held her breath as samples were served by the waitstaff, her pulse quickening at the thought of how they might be received. She caught one diner sneak a taste, eyes widening in surprise before a smile broke out across their face. The wave of approval spread like wildfire, jumping from table to table, and soon diners were chatting excitedly about the flavors, their previous doubts melting away like butter. "See? I told you." Hiroshi grinned, clearly reveling in the moment. But just as Mia began to exhale comfortable, hopeful, it happened. Gilda's voice rang out sharply over the joyful din, cutting through the air thick with excitement. "Is this the best you can do? I expected something more impressive from a celebrity chef." A collective gasp spread across the diner, and Mia felt her stomach drop. She searched for a way to counter Gilda's words, to shield the spirit of the evening from her negativity. But fear gripped her heart as she stood frozen, her voice caught in her throat. Hiroshi darted a warning glance her way, his own expression one of concern. Would they be able to ride out this storm? Or was tonight about to take a turn they hadn't anticipated? The atmosphere shifted, and her breath hitched as she awaited the communal response, unsure how it would unfold. As the crowd shifted, Mia could feel the incredible weight of the moment pressing in. Acceptance hung in the balance, teetering between delight and doubt. Would they choose to rally together, or would Gilda's words sink like a stone into the sea of possibility? And just as she steeled herself to address the crowd, a diner rose to their feet, ready to take a stand. The diner fell into a hush as the diner who had stood up cleared her throat, her face a mixture of determination and defiance. Mia didn't recognize her at first, but the woman's warm smile cut through the tension and enveloped the room in a collective breath, an invocation of hope. "No, no, no." The woman began, shoving back her chair with a scrape that echoed through the diner. "This is not okay. What Chef Tanaka is doing here tonight is special. It's not just food, it's a celebration of who we are." Her voice was strong, sure, as if she were speaking the truth everyone needed to hear. Mia's heart swelled. The crowd, initially unsure, began to nod, whispers of agreement creeping in. Encouraged, the woman continued. "Remember last year? The summer fair? It brought us all together. Food has a way of connecting us, doesn't it? This is a chance to bring our community to life again, with flavors that tell stories." A murmur of yes spread through the tables as others found their voices. Someone next to Gilda chimed in, "She's right. There's beauty in trying something new. We don't always have to stick to what's comfortable." Mia caught Hiroshi's eye. He beamed at her, his earlier concern evaporating into joy. But Gilda maintained her stance, unimpressed, arms still crossed tightly. "I came here looking for a real culinary experience, not to be part of a pep rally." Her voice cracked slightly, revealing that perhaps even she felt the weight of her words. Before Mia knew it, her legs found movement, carrying her closer to the woman rallying the crowd. With each step, she felt a jolt of bravery surging through her, electrifying her spirit. "Can we at least just taste the food?" Mia called out, her voice stronger than she'd ever imagined. The cheers from the tables felt like a wave crashing in, the tide shifting against Gilda's demanding words. "Let's give it a chance. It's not just eating, it's about finding new favorites and maybe making friends." Someone interrupted joyfully, laughter escaping as they broke the tension further. Even Gilda looked a bit shaken. Her posture softened just the slightest, as if she, too, was reconsidering her stance. Suddenly, Chef Tanaka walked over, carrying a tray filled with steaming samples. "Food is, after all, a journey we take together," he said, his eyes sparkling with encouragement. "So let's take this journey." The first bites were served, shimmering under the lights of the diner like stars against a night sky. Diners grabbed their forks, hesitation replaced with eager smiles. Even Gilda took a sample, albeit reluctantly, her lips pressed tightly as she chewed. Mia watched, her heart pounding, half terrified and half exhilarated. Would tonight pivot into something unforgettable? As she studied the faces around her, she saw joy slowly replacing doubt, hope lighting up the dim corners of the diner. Moments passed like strokes of magic, and she knew they were teetering towards something huge. Then suddenly, as laughter erupted and more voices joined in, Gilda's face shifted again. A look of realization dawned across her features. Could it really be happening? The community coming together, healing? Just as Mia felt the full force of the moment, Gilda, standing taller now, turned and spoke, her voice laced with something unexpected. Actually, this is quite good, she admitted, her tone softening. Mia could hardly breathe, choking back tears of relief. But before she could absorb it all, the door swung open violently, and in walked a figure who could very well change everything. A man in a sharp suit, with an air of authority that caught everyone's attention. As he stepped forward, Mia's heart raced, and she braced herself. Who was this man? And what did he want? Would he disrupt the magic brewing in the diner, or perhaps be the final piece to a night that was reshaping everything they once knew? As the man approached, a collective whisper echoed across the diner, curiosity shimmering in the air. Mia felt a rush of confusion mixed with a sliver of hope. Who was this stranger, and what impact would he bring to the moment now unfolding? He reached the center of the diner, eyes scanning the crowd. Mia could hardly breathe, spotlights of anticipation shifting with every heartbeat. Was he a new skeptic ready to throw cold water on their burgeoning excitement? Or her heart leaped, could he be a potential ally? Excuse me, he started, drawing the attention of every patron in the room. I'm Mr. Nakamura, and I'm here because I heard rumors about this incredible dinner event. I'm here to support the diner and this wonderful community. The initial tension in the room began to dissipate as laughter bubbled forth, glancing sidelong at each other, piecing together that this Mr. Nakamura was not a foe, but potentially a friend. Mia felt something lift inside her, a surge of possibility filling the void of doubt. Thank you for having the courage to take risks, he added, his voice warm and rich. Change is not easy, but it's critical for revitalization. And from what I've tasted so far, this diner has a bright future. Cheers erupted, buoying Mia's spirit. Chef Tanaka took this moment and began instructing his team to gather the next round of dishes, a Japanese twist on classic American comfort food. With an infectious excitement buzzing, Mr. Nakamura joined in explaining, I believe in investing in dreams, especially when the desire to uplift others is present. Jenna, standing by the counter watching the unfolding scene, felt tears pricking her eyes. She'd spent years fighting for this diner, often doubting if it would survive the waves of judgment and expectation. But here, in this very moment, hope seemed to shimmer just beneath the surface. Everyone was coming together, lending a hand and hearts full of goodwill to revive what was once considered lost. Mia stepped forward, emboldened by her mother's softening gaze. Mr. Nakamura, together with Chef Tanaka, were planning to invite the community to experience this culinary adventure, and you're more than welcome to be part of it. What do you say? The man smiled, nodding vigorously. Let me help you with that. I'm excited to bring in more ideas, share stories over delicious meals, and possibly create a monthly community night here at the diner. It's about connections. The room erupted in applause, the clapping resonating like a heartbeat of unity. Mia turned to her mother, finding Jenna smiling, tears of joy streaking down her cheeks. The uncertainty that had gripped them was fading away, nudged aside by laughter and shared dreams. They could rise, they could evolve. A wave of encouragement flowed through the diner, enthusiasm bouncing off the walls. Mia felt invigorated, her challenges mirrored in every gleaming face that had once harbored doubt. Let tonight be the beginning, she exclaimed, her heart swelling with love for this community and her mother, who had held strong all those years. Let us show what teamwork means. Hours later, under the soft glow of diner lights, plates filled with miso-glazed burgers and sushi tacos made their way around, laughter mingling with stories of shared experiences, weaving an unbreakable thread of connection. Mr. Nakamura darted about, assisting the kitchen with talk of future possibilities. Gilda approached Mia, a softness in her eyes now. "You know, I've always had my reservations, but you've shown courage and heart tonight. I'd like to offer my support too, however I can." Mia's heart soared. "Thank you. Together, we can transform this diner into something incredible." As they stood together, looking out over the room, Jenna put her hands on Mia's shoulders, pride radiating from her. "I was worried about you, but you showed me there's power in trusting those around us, Mia. I'm so proud of you." That night sparked a thread of camaraderie, an unspoken promise that they would push through any doubt and continue their journey, side by side, as a community. United. They had turned the tide, and with every shared laugh and every delighted taste bud, the diner thrived. As the clinking of glasses melded with laughter, Mia felt a sense of fullness, a warmth that felt like home. This was just the beginning, a new chapter alive with possibilities. No more whispers of doubt, the town embraced change, rallying around this diner that had long been a centerpiece of its spirit. As they ventured into tomorrow, they held on to one truth: the truest strength came not just from hard work but a community's unwavering light. And as the night wore on, with hope blooming like the cherry blossoms Mia had long admired in her mother's tales, they all understood one thing: change was not just about taking risks, it was about reaching out, trusting, and lifting each other to new heights. So, if you love this journey of transformation and want to witness more stories like this, you need to subscribe now. Don't miss out on the next exclusive tales waiting for you. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and keep these stories alive. Your support truly matters. Comment below your reactions and feelings about this ending. We want to hear from you, and share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to spread this message of hope. Show the love and support this channel deserves.